never filmed it, but they do.
Most proud to have that talent used right here and where we rekindle a love of old time radio. Did you hear those train whistles out there? That's the sound of history and the call of heritage. It also means our is about to begin. And rest assured, enjoy the view and make a few memories with us along the way. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome aboard the Strasburg Rail Road.
My friends, you're about to embark on a passage that has been shared by more than 8 generations of travelers. This is one of the oldest railroad rights of way in the entire world, and it's located right here in the heart of Lancaster County. It all began in 1882 when the Pennsylvania legislature chartered the Strasburg Rail Road, allowing construction of this 48 miles of track that we call a short line. That, ladies and gentlemen, would allow this piece of Pennsylvania country to
IOUs or
Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad. That locomotive about 5 all hand shoveled by our fire department. That's exactly what hard work and background has helped this railroad.
I've worked here for about 34 years. Number one on trucks.
The oldest timetable we've ever found covers short lines in the Strasburg Beat newspaper.
My goodness. Well, my name is DJ. It's great to have you.
We still follow that same basis. So I can tell you that we're traveling at a comfortable speed.
I grew up with it.
Under 60 miles per hour.
Get here and then start to work.
Way under 60 miles per hour.
That's great.
Here's one of our speed measures for the daily services. There's a process. Coal and water.
used to call her Little Old and Slow. The railroad was abandoned in 1918, and the scrappers took up the rail so quickly that they stranded old number 6 out on the line with no way to get back. Sometimes we blow our whistle for Carpenter's Crossing. The ghost of old number 6 will answer us back. Now, listen closely. Maybe she'll answer us today. Did someone say echo? Why, we pay that ghost $27.50 a day just to do that for us. That makes her the highest paid employee on our railroad. Nobody ever seen that ghost, but somebody keeps cashing those paychecks.
Graveyard, one of Lancaster County's oldest cemeteries. Behind those gates is where one of our first settlers was laid to rest. An 18th century French Huguenot named Marie Curie. After fleeing their native France to avoid religious persecution, Marie and a small group of followers were given an audience with Queen Anne, thanks to an English philosopher, Quaker, and lifetime advocate of religious freedom, William Penn. They were granted 2.5 square miles of land and arrived here in 1712, and the name they gave their new home was Paradise.
Friends, right now we're approaching Strasburg's one and only bridge, the Pumpkinville Turnpike Bridge. If you don't mind, we'll ask you to lift up your feet. It takes the much-needed weight off these cars as we cross. This bridge replaced an older one to accommodate the railroad's growing stream of incoming freight traffic. Actually, due to the Amish farmers that have used these bridges in their sides in their hands. The bridge is now more than 6 meters wide.
We are now approaching Blenheim Place. It's where the short line of Strasburg meets the mainline of Amtrak. Back in its heyday, this was the mighty Pennsylvania Railroad. We established the connection here with the completion of our own railroad in 1851. Our track will begin to curve sharply to the left as we come alongside Amtrak's Keystone Corridor from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. This was the original route of the Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad, which became part of the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1857. Where the white buildings stand today once stood Henry Lennon's Hotel. Believe it or not, in the earliest days of railroading, railroad cars and carriages were pulled by horses. Henry Lennon would supply fresh horses for the trains and refreshment for passengers. The interchange track on the running right is used to deliver freight cars off the main line into our East Strasburg yard, where shipments are offloaded into trucks for local delivery. The most famous delivery to come through Lemon Place arrived on February 22nd, 1861, when President-elect Abraham Lincoln made a short stop in Lancaster County on the way to his Washington inauguration. Thousands gathered around these tracks just to see a glimpse of Mr. Lincoln, who stepped out, faced the crowd, and said,
"I've come to see you and let you see me. I believe I have the better of the bargain."
The crowd was equally enthusiastic to see Mary Todd Lincoln. When she stepped out and stood beside her much taller husband, Lincoln eloquently quipped,
"Now you can see the long and short of it."
Sadly, in 1865, another train would pass through Lemon Place, but in the opposite direction, before carrying President Lincoln's body after his untimely death at the hands of John Wilkes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination of Paradise, Pennsylvania, located along Route 30 in eastern Lancaster County. We'll be here for just a few minutes while we switch our locomotive around to the opposite end of our train for the return trip. The creaking and hissing that you'll hear under our cars is the sound of the train crew performing a brake test. The brakeman checks the brakes on the last car and passes signals up to the engine crew at the head end of the train. This procedure is required by federal law.
There's a signal on green.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
It's also a fair share of livestock as far as I'm sure you can tell here. Each year, our farmers produce chicken for 3.6 million people, eggs for 9 million, and milk for 10.6 million. One idea is just how many cows are working the average dairy farm. It's less than 40. Average Lancaster dairy farm has 65 cows, which is up to 3 large pastures and orchards to farmers. Lancaster County maintains one of the best farm and preservation programs in the United States. There are about 80,000 acres of these farmland lands protected. We're proud to do our part by supporting the Lancaster Farmland Trust. We want the next generation to enjoy these things and sounds, just as we hope we do today.
coming.
Oh, there it comes, yeah.
Hey, sir, can you move 2 feet to your left?
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. You're in the way.
Too
You're
late.
In the way. This way.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Can't get in the bars.
Never heard people call Gates Barn. That's interesting.
Bars.
Bar. Oh, gotcha.
Not barn. That's okay. Oh, goodness, I hear the chugging.
That's all I'm worried about. I got my babies and I got my husband. You guys have fun taking pictures, okay?